up, y'all? I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, man. This is your boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out, bro. Before I get going on today's video, y'all be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and share the video, bro. If you come through and watch the video, be sure to hit that like button, put your seatbelt on when you hop in my car. And if you want me on the panel, knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. But without further ado, let's get it popping, and let's get into today's video. And today, we got to recap the fight card from last night. We already did a recap on the DAZN card, so y'all be sure to go check that out. But we got to recap our predictions that we did for the PBC card that went down last night. We did pretty good this weekend overall. We predicted both full cards, the DAZN card and the card over on PBC. We got 4 of our predictions right. We got 2 wrong, and we got a draw. So, okay. You know, not our best, but definitely not bad and not our worst. So now our overall prediction record, we got 96 predictions right on this channel, and we got 20 wrong. So still trending in the right direction, man. I wanted to get all the way to 100 right before I missed another fight, but you can't be perfect, I guess. But overall, we're still doing very well with our predictions and our breakdowns in this channel. So let's talk about the PBC card really quickly. But before we do, don't forget about our live show. We do it every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 5:30 on the West Coast, and 8:30 on the East Coast. Y'all come through, hang out with your boy every Wednesday night at 7:30 Central for a fun night of boxing talk. But back to the video, man. Back to the video. So, first fight of the night. That's the one we got wrong, man. Armando Resendiz versus Marcos Hernandez. Look, man, I thought Armando Resendiz would be able to apply pressure. I thought he would land more flush shots on Hernandez. Hernandez came into this fight losing 3 of his last 4 fights. Didn't have great power, so I didn't think he'd be able to keep Resendiz off of him, but he did just enough. He had a great jab working. He timed Resendiz coming in, and he put on a great performance, and he should have won that fight. And so that's the one that we got wrong. You know what I mean? But overall, Resendiz, he looks like he can have a promising future, but I didn't see any of the things that I saw in his film. You go look at his film, he showed some counter-punching ability. He showed far better head movement in other fights, and I don't know if it's because he was fighting lesser competition or, you know, Hernandez just had, you know, way better timing than he thought. But for whatever reason, he kept getting caught flush coming in with a jab, and then Hernandez worked very well off the jab, and Resendiz could not get out of the way of his left hook, his check left hook, and so he didn't apply. He was applying pressure and going forward the whole fight because he's the one that's a pressure fighter. Y'all excuse me right quick. Sorry about that. That was messed up a little bit. So he applied pressure the whole night, but it wasn't effective pressure. He had his moments. It was a competitive fight, but I have no issue with the judge's decision. We got that pick wrong. Hernandez got a well-deserved victory, so salute to that young man for bouncing back because he was on a bit of a slump. That's the other thing. This is the best he's looked in about 5 or 6 fights, Hernandez. So he really got up for this one, really trained hard for this one. Resendiz is young. He's 22 years old. He has time to bounce back, but he definitely needs some improvement. He needs to work on his head movement. Whatever counter-punching ability that he showed on film, he needs to get back to that. Using head movement and countering guys, especially if you're going to come forward. You just can't come forward without any head movement, without any counter-punching ability because guys are going to be able to time you, and that's what happened to him last night. The other fight we predicted, Wilson Castillo versus Juan Carlos Burgos. We got this one right. Castillo was a very busy fighter. I love that from him. He shows that he can mix it up, but I think he should have boxed from mid-range to long range a little bit more in that fight. He had a nice jab working. He has a nice overhand left. He was getting inside on with Burgos and mixing it up, and that was because Burgos did a good job of pressuring him and making him do that. Now, what I like about Wilson Castillo is that he seemed like he got a lot of dog in him. Every time he got caught with a flush shot, every time Burgos caught him and started working, Wilson Castillo bit down, spun around off the ropes, and worked that much more harder. And then he had the clear advantage. When they were at a distance, when they were at mid-range and not fighting on the inside, that's where I think he won the fight because he threw and landed more shots from that range. And then when they were inside, he was landing just as much. So he won a pretty comfortable decision, but every round was close. Every round was, you know, nip and tuck. But Wilson Castillo always found a way in that fight to throw more punches and land more punches. But he never truly hurt Burgos. Burgos, his last 2 fights have been losses, but if you're up and coming, if you got an up and coming prospect, bro, if you got an up and coming prospect, if you got somebody that you think is the goods, and you around Juan Carlos Burgos division right now, He got a lot left in the tank, and if you ain't careful, you put him in there with the wrong young fighter, he can beat them, bro. Juan Carlos Burgos gave Wilson Castillo a good test, which he passed. I'm looking forward to see what's next for the young man. In my opinion, Wilson Castillo needs to improve on his defense. He needs to improve at controlling distance. Juan Carlos Burgos was able to cut off the ring, and he was able to make Wilson Castillo fight his fight. Now, Wilson Castillo, to his credit, showed that he can fight that level of fight, and he can fight on the inside, but with his long arms, with the way that his frame is, his long legs, the way that he is built, I believe that the majority of his success will come if he's able to use his jab, use that left hand down to the body that he has following the jab, keep fighters at his distance at mid-range to where he can start throwing that sneaky left hand. His left hand, he'll throw it as an overhand right. He'll throw it down to the body. He'll throw it as a straight, not an overhand right, an overhand left. He'll throw it down to the body. He'll throw it up top as just a straight left. He has some good things that he does. He has a very nice right hook off of that he uses. So he does some very good things offensively. Defensively, he got hit pretty good, and a lot by Burgos, who doesn't have the fastest hands, who doesn't have the greatest power, who isn't really diversified offensively. So Wilson Castillo, as most young fighters do, as he steps up in levels of competition, which Juan Carlos Burgos in your 16th fight, that's a good step up, bro. That's a good. I can't stress to y'all enough how good of a test that is for a young fighter, bro. That's a hell of a test for a young fighter for Wilson Castillo to come away with the victory and get the W. But as he continues to move up, if he wants to challenge for world titles, the defense needs work. Making fighters fight your fight and not being dragged into a inside fight, because there are going to be fighters that are just as tenacious as Juan Carlos Burgos, but they're much more slick on the inside. They have much more power in their punches on the inside, and they can really beat you up on the inside if you allow them to get inside on you. So Wilson Castillo has to get better at, I think he would have had a better performance if he just showed that he was able to keep Burgos at the end of his punches, not let Burgos inside, pivot around on him, do things like that to make the fight his fight. But he showed if you drag him into a dog fight, Wilson Castillo will get down with your ass. So I'm very, very impressed with that young man. For the last fight that we predicted, we got this one right too. Jesus Ramos versus Mendoza, bro. I told y'all Mendoza wasn't all that, and no disrespect to him, but he tried to survive the whole night. Like, people may not say this, some of y'all may disagree with me, but all I saw from Mendoza, bro, was the same shit that I saw from Guillermo Rigondeaux, bro. The difference was that Casemiro couldn't cut off the ring. Jesus Ramos cut off the ring and beat Mendoza up, especially towards the back half of that fight, to where Mendoza literally, bro, didn't want to throw a punch. He was just holding on for dear life against Jesus Ramos, bro. Jesus Ramos can fight. He fights well behind his jab. He goes to the body, doesn't forget about the body, and he knows how to cut off the ring. And you can tell that he's really, really thinking in that ring. At the beginning of the fight, he had some issues cutting off Mendoza because Mendoza was circling around to his right, which was Jesus Ramos' left, and Ramos is a southpaw. You know, typically guys don't circle to his left because that's where his power is in his left hand. So he had to get used to what Mendoza was doing, which could have been a pretty good game plan if Mendoza would have actually threw punches, because by doing that, by circling to his right and going to the left of Ramos, he had an opportunity to land right hands, bro, but he did not want to let his hands go, because the moment that he did, he tried to throw a couple of right hands and got caught with some counter right hooks, and he immediately backed off, bro. He didn't press the fight. And if you go watch Mendoza's other fights, he's an action fighter. He'll mix it up with you, but he felt something from Ramos that he didn't want any parts of, bro. And I'm telling y'all, go watch the fight. Mendoza spent damn near the whole fight running around the ring. His back was constantly on the ropes, just going around and around in a circle. He did not want to engage with Ramos. Once he finally, and that's not even his style, that's how you know he was spooked, bro. You go look at his style, he don't fight like that, bro. He don't fight like that. Then you go look, once he got tired, like round 7, round 8, Jesus Ramos started putting it on his ass, and I'm not making this shit up if you ain't watched the fight, bro. I'm not making this shit up. Mendoza literally, bro, like rounds 8, 9, and 10, he was holding the whole damn round, bro. He didn't want any smoke, and Jesus Ramos still beat him up, bro. He still beat him up, bro. Like, Jesus Ramos would have got the stoppage. He got the unanimous decision in this one. He would have got the stoppage if Mendoza would have showed up to fight. Mendoza, and you have this sometimes with fighters, bro, and this is no knock. You have this sometimes with fighters Mendoza just, he showed up to survive. And if you skilled enough, which he has skill, he has skill. If you skilled enough, if you know what you're doing in that ring enough, if you've had enough fights, you can get in there, see you outmatched, and you can survive the whole fight. You can survive the whole fight. He almost didn't around 8, 9, 10, got real ugly for him. But Jesus Ramos showed that he on a different level, and he's beating guys up, bro. He's making dudes run away from him, man. And I'm telling y'all, Mendoza's game plan was very, very eerily similar to Guillermo Rigondeaux. I'm just happy we had a fighter that was able to cut off the ring better than Casemiro, because that fight could have been a lot more boring than it actually was, bro. It could have been a lot more boring if Jesus Ramos didn't do a good job of cutting off the ring. But he did, landed way more shots, landed way cleaner shots. I didn't see any moments for Mendoza in the fight. They scored. Some people scored at like 97, 93, or some of the judges gave Mendoza a couple of rounds. Where I couldn't find a round for him in that fight. He was running so damn much, bro. He was running the whole damn fight. So Jesus Ramos moves on. He's now 17-0. Couple of things for him. I like to see him process data quicker. I think by the second or third round, he realized what Mendoza was doing to him, and then he started cutting off the ring accordingly and landing better shots. I want to see him figure that out a little bit earlier. But he has a great mind for boxing. You can tell he comes from a great pedigree. And even though he didn't get the knockout, you go watch that fight. You go watch Mendoza's reaction to his punches. The power of Jesus Ramos, even up at 154, because remember, he's only a few fights removed from fighting at 140. Then he moved up to 147. Now he's at 154. This is the 20-year-old fighter that's getting stronger and stronger, that's growing into his body. He's gonna be a big dude. I wouldn't be surprised if in his prime we don't see him fighting somewhere like 168, 175, even like at minimum 160. He may settle in at middleweight. To be honest with y'all, that's what he's starting to look like, as a middleweight that's just very, very good, bro. Very good. If he can continue to make 154, he's gonna be a problem there. But he's only 20, so he'll be even bigger, stronger, more mature at 22, 23, 24 years old, especially like mid-20s, 26, 27. So he may grow into a light heavyweight, bro, or maybe even like possibly a super middleweight with Jesus Ramos. But damn good fighter, damn good prospect. Really looking forward to see what's next for him. I thought he put on a wonderful performance. If you look at what he was up against somebody that was there to run, that was there to survive. And Mendoza did what he came to do. He survived. He didn't get knocked out. But he didn't win a round, in my opinion. He didn't win a round, in my opinion. Overall, the PBC card, it was cool. It was cool. I'm not excited or enamored with any of the fights that we got this weekend, both the Zone and PBC. The Zone, because the huge letdown of the Warrington Laura fight, I felt like that would have made the card even better. It was trending to be a very great, very intense fight. And then for the PBC, I just felt like Mendoza, he didn't really come to fight. The best fight of that card was the Castillo versus Burgos fight, by far. By far, I thought it was the most entertaining fight. It was a fight where the most punches were thrown, where both fighters actually, you know, did some give and take a little bit. And then the Hernandez and Resendiz fight, Hernandez, to his credit, and again, this is the one I got wrong, he controlled Resendiz for the whole fight. So that one was fun to watch and interesting to watch, because I'm like, damn, he putting on the performance I ain't see coming. You know, even your boy gets something wrong sometimes. So it was great to see him, you know, get his career back on track. We give credit where credit is due to him. Much props to him for getting that W. But I expected more of Resendiz, bro. And so we'll see what's next for all these fighters. I think they all still have a bright future in the sport. All of them are relatively young. So let's see what's next for them. Y'all know we going to cover them, bro. As long as they don't pop dirty for no shit, we going to cover them, bro. We going to cover them, you know, very, very unbiasedly, and talk about their fights and break them down and predict them. You know what I mean? That's my favorite shit to do. But overall, weekend was good. Looking forward to this weekend. We got a lot of cards on, a lot of good fights to talk about. One, again, that we will not be talking about, Oscar Valdez versus Kasekio, bro. I'm not doing that fight, so don't ask me about it, man. But I appreciate y'all watching this video. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. And with that, we out here. Peace, y'all.